You can sleep. Side hand, I'll be that too. Because chicks are young and this chick is old. So I'll be the side hand. Thank you, Reggie, for correcting her. I will be the side chick. The mistress, the side chick, the hand. It's whatever. I mean, name calling is what y'all do. That's
Hey guys, happy Wednesday. We were ready to push the button. Don't mind me, I'm being very silly. It's on some y'all. Don't mind me. I'm just having one of those days. It's one of those days that I feel silly. Okay. Y'all, we're back for the epic. We are back for the conclusion. We are back on that. We read it all. Okay. It took us 4 hours yesterday because we read it all. Do you hear me? We read it all. Sis had 3 screens up. Okay. Well, 5. I had my monitors. Okay. I had a StreamYard and a YouTube. I had 2 copies of the 277 pages, so I didn't have to flip up and down. I could just go from screen to screen. I had 1 dedicated exhibits and I had 1 designated reading. And then just in case we needed it, baby sis had the last 50-page document. Okay. All right. Okay. We were reading it all. We wanted to get into all of the receipts. Why is she giving Tiffany Henyard? Okay. That's bothering you guys. That's not Tiffany Henyard. That is for sure. What's her damn name? Erica King. Let me see if I have Erica King on this deck. I'm sure I have her somewhere. Erica King is somewhere in these decks of pictures that I have. Let me find her. If I wasn't looking for her, I would be on her picture right now, I'm sure. But now that I'm looking for her, I can't find her. Let's see. Erica King. Erica King, where are you? We'll get to that. I wonder if Sonia is feeling any type of way this morning about Boothang. Is it because she said if she found out that Nesto lied to her at any point, she will be gone. Is it giving yet? Like Look, if she wants to stay with that dude, that's her business. Like if she wants to keep wasting her time going to visit this dude, girl, be our guest. Be very much go, do you. But she's the one who said that if she found out that Nesto was lying to her in any way, shape, or form, she would be out. Didn't she say that? That's what she said. But she might not, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's your word and there's your word, right? We don't know if that was her word, but okay. Does Nesto have on overalls? Where? Hold on, let me pull this up. Let me just check my setup. Okay. Um does Nesto have on overalls? I don't know. Which picture, hun? I must have missed it. After Nesto said Sonia couldn't afford him, she stuck around, girl. And that's like a year ago now. Well, he said it a while ago, and then she found out like a year ago. Okay. But you guys, if you guys saw my shorts this morning, where you guys get what's going on. This is the response to the response. Just so anyone, if you did not watch yesterday's Epic Live, I still feel like some of you guys have not had a chance to see it, but that's fine. You're here today. At the end of the day, this is the reading and the, just our initial reaction to the state's response to defendants supplemental brief. Okay. About a week or two ago, there was something else that was filed. Hold on a second. There was this that was filed. Y'all may not be able to see that very well, but I don't want to switch the screen up. The state's motion to dismiss defendant's motion to suppress. So the state filed a motion to dismiss the defendant's motion to suppress the vehicle search for lack of standing. So that there was that on January 24th and on a Friday. Okay. So that was like a week and a half ago. This was filed. And he stated, in addition to this motion, the state intends. Do you guys remember this? Because I read this to you in total. I stated, in addition, the footnotes are very important. The footnote. Okay. In addition to the motion, to this motion, the state intends to file a particularized response to the defendant's supplemental brief to suppress the vehicle search and all derivative evidence on or before February 3rd, 2025, as directed by the court. And this document was posted. I don't want to lose my page. On or about yesterday at 12:05. It hit the e-file, but he probably had it posted, let's say, an hour before. But it was posted in the late nights. Okay, just before midnight. This was posted. So we already had the heads up, right? The heads up had been given. Okay. If you don't remember, just go back to my video on that topic when we read the 50 pages, because it's there. Okay. Do we remember that? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Okay. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, everyone. Okay, let's get back into this. I have all my pages set up. All right, let me just open up this last monitor. I'm just trying to give everyone a chance to get in here. Okay. Get on up in here. Let me move this over. All right. I love the legal back and forth with the pretrial hearings, don't you? Isn't it interesting? It's so much fun, right? If you guys know, and I don't mean like the 1 minutes, if you guys have seen anywhere or have any additional information on the Jeannie Mai body worn camera video, I have got to get I'm trying to find the police report or the information when they actually got to the house so I can track down that body cam footage. But it's like it's all chopped up and I would love to get my hands on all of it. And it's annoying. I haven't been able to get my hands on it. Anyway, back to this. If anybody has seen the police report anywhere, if you've seen the actual police report, send me a link, please. I got my hands on it, but I'm working, so I need a good narration. I'm not sure what you mean. I mean, I've seen like a minute here, a minute there, but as far as like the whole entire thing, I'm working, so I need a. I'm not sure if you're talking about what I was talking about. Are you talking about what I was talking about, Vicky? Get up in this business, okay? You got up just in time. Hey, Muffin. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Okay. All right, guys, let's get back started on this, okay? So there's Erica Kang, there's Boneytail, and Shirley. Miss I don't know what my husband, like, we don't get into each other's business. We don't get into each other's business. Strawberry, okay? Why aren't because I'm not hitting the right keys. Okay. We left off right here. And we left off at exhibit FF. Yeah, we saw FF, and that was the searching in Odyssey. Okay, so I've got GG pulled up. Okay. Good morning, you guys. Good morning, good morning, good morning. If you're just now coming in, you haven't missed anything. We're getting ready to get into this, okay? Okay. Okay, so 6 is the 990 Pine Grove Road search warrant. The defendant appears to assert that all evidence found during the lawful search at 990 Pine Grove Road residence should be suppressed if the court determines that the Ford F-350 was unlawfully seized. The defendant's motion fails to articulate in writing. So you see a common narrative. Basically, Sean stated some things needed to be suppressed and thrown out, and they're not delivering it. So they basically have kind of got this canned response that you notice that every item is starting off with this same thing. The defendant's motion fails to articulate in writing specific facts. So basically, they didn't address it. But since we're going to just assume, I'm just going to address it on either side, like either why it won't be qualified, or if in fact, if it's not qualified due to quote unquote unlawful search, why this would have came up anyway. Okay. Instead, he merely lists items seized during the search. In any case, the defendant's challenge to the 990 Pine Grove Road search fails for two reasons. First, the defendant's lack of standing to challenge the 990 Pine Grove Road search because he did not reside there. Okay? You didn't reside there. Okay? Period. And because 990 Pine Grove Road was procured by fraud. Period. Second, even if he did have a standing, the issuance of the 990 Pine Grove search warrant did not depend on any evidence found in the F-350. To claim protections guaranteed by the Fourth Amendment, the defendant must demonstrate first that he exhibited an actual expectation of privacy. in the thing or place searched. And second, the expectation that society is prepared to recognize as reasonable, and cites the law. Where a defendant cannot establish both a subjective expectation of privacy and legitimate ex, objective expectation of privacy, his own Fourth Amendment rights are not infringed and has no standing to contest the legality of the search. See generally Rockus versus Illinois. See the law cited. Fourth Amendment rights for are personal rights that may not be asserted vicariously, and a defendant challenging a search or seizure as unreasonable must establish a priority interest in or legitimate expectation of privacy regarding the place searched and evidence seized, Burgesson versus State. To prevail on a Fourth Amendment challenge, the defendant must establish that he had a legitimate expectation of privacy in a place searched or evidence seized that society is prepared to recognize as reasonable, and he did not. Okay. Georgia courts have rejected the proposition that society is prepared to recognize any legitimate expectation of privacy in property that is stolen or procured by fraud. Numerous federal cases are on record: United States versus Johnson, United States versus Cayman, United States versus Kuang, Newman versus United States. He's listing numerous cases. Here, the defendant's lack of standing is twofold. First, 990 Pine Grove Road was never leased to the defendant. He never established even a subjective expectation of privacy in the residence. The only tenants listed on 990 Pine Grove Road lease was James Relaford and Candy Relaford. See Exhibit GG. Okay, let's go to Exhibit GG. Hold on a second. Let me move this, y'all. Okay. Oh, this is the lease. Okay. $4,200. So let's just refresh our memories though too on what is 990 Pine Grove Road and which one's 980. So you guys know which one is which. Okay. And you guys know this because your girl brought it to you here first. Okay. All right. We're over here. This is 990. Hello. 990, 980, right? And then just for shits and giggles, let's go back in time to October 22nd. Is that the right date? No, March. Let's go to March. Let's go to March. Let's look at March. And we know what's in the driveway. What's in the driveway, you guys? Baby Nesto's security. Okay. Okay. Hello. Okay. Okay. Which one is 990? Look at the mailboxes. Okay. Look at the mailboxes. 990, 980, right? All right, let's go back to the document. 990 Pine Grove Road. Are we here? Okay. Put some bingos in the chat if you're here. Okay. All right, we're not going to read the entire lease. That's what we're not going to do. But the homeowners, Yvette and Larry, the rent was $4,200. Okay. And let's see, rent for and delivered to Zelle. Details to be provided upon request. So I guess they wanted Zelle direct payments. They had a $5,500 security deposit, allegedly. I guess so. There are the amenities in the household, all of the things. Leasing broker, Keller Williams. All right. All right. So we see the lease. The lease is here. The lease is present. I like I said, I'll give you guys can have all this later. As soon as we finish with this, and you guys can review some of this stuff on your own if you so choose to. I'll make a link available. Okay. Okay, let's get back over here. So we saw the lease, right? He provided the receipt, exhibit GG 990. Guys, just so you guys know, I'm not looking at the chat right now. So you guys talk to each other. If there's anything that needs to be bubbled up, you just when I come back to the screen, I'm clicking on some stuff right now, but I just want a heads up. I'm not gonna be because I'm reading this super duper long document. So okay. All right. Let me get back to let me put my and I've got my exhibits up, so just so I can stay on track. Okay. So James and Candy Relaford are on the lease. We saw that on exhibit GG 990 Pine Grove Road lease. The lease expressly prohibits subletting. The lease did not include the defendant as a person authorized. You know what? While I'm thinking about this right now, let me take a picture real quick. Let me let y'all see. Let me go ahead and get, which I'm sure I have a million of these, but let me get with the mailboxes. As we look at the mailboxes. Okay. All right, give me just a second. Let me let Portia out.
You can sleep. Side hand, I'll be that too. Because chicks are young and this chick is old. So I'll be the side hand. Thank you, Reggie, for correcting her. I will be the side chick. The mistress, the side chick, the hand. It's whatever. I mean, name calling is what y'all do. That's
Okay. I forgot Portia was in my room. Okay. All right. Okay. The lease expressly prohibited subletting. The lease did not include the defendant as a person authorized to occupy the premises. The lease specified that the premises shall be used for residential purposes only and shall be occupied only by those persons listed in the agreement. And the defendant was not a listed person. And the lease specified that only those people indicated on the tenant rental application are permitted to reside on the premises, at the premises. And the defendant was not indicated on the lease application. Second, even if the defendant had a subjective expectation of privacy at 990 Pine Grove Road, the expectation is objectively unreasonable because the residence was procured by fraud. On January 13th, 2022, Pine Grove Road was purportedly leased to James and Candy Relaford, but Candy Relaford was a fraudulent identity assumed by the defendant's accomplice, Eric Kang. Okay, see Exhibit HH. Okay, so the undersigned Enfields duly sworn deposes and says, I am a Georgia certified peace officer charging with the duty of enforcing criminal law. Okay. This is search warrant SW030257, 990 Pine Grove Road, a multi-story, wood framed home. Okay, a black Dodge Charger display, Georgia license plates. In addition, okay, registered to James Relaford. Any additional vehicles or outbuildings located, the vehicles described above, and any additional vehicles located at 980 Pine Grove Road. So they've got the 990, then they're also talking about 980. Okay. So any additional vehicles and outbuildings located, there is now located certain instruments, articles, and so what is this? Affidavit and application for search warrant. So number 1, vehicles described above and any additional vehicles located at 980. So this search warrant is for both locations. They're looking also for currency. They're looking for firearms, ammunitions, magazines, gun casings, all documents, papers, writings reflecting ownership, use, or control of the residence, cellular phones, and content therein. So it's on the search warrant that they were looking for cell phones and the content therein, computers, hard drives, storage media, other electronic devices capable of storing information, safe boxes, lock boxes, surfaces that may yield fingerprints, theft by deception, theft by conversion, deposit account fraud. So these are all the things that were listed. Okay, I am post certified. So she's giving all of her credentials as to why she's doing what she's doing. Two, the facts set forth herein are true and correct to the best of her knowledge. So she says at number 4. Okay. So they said exhibit HH search warrant at number 4. So at number 4, on June 10th, 2022, Detective Gooden interviewed Mark and Elena Krall. I think we've read this before. At Roswell Police Department. During the interview, Mark advised that during February 2022, he was contacted by Candy Relaford about leasing his residence to her employers. Okay. Who she referred to as famous people. Mark advised that Candy leases the house next to him at 990 Pine Grove Road, and handled all negotiations for the prospective tenants that included rent, repairs, and painting the interior of the residence and the replacement of 3 air conditioning units. Mark advised that Candy, on behalf of the prospective renters who he had not met, agreed to a down payment and first and last month's rent at $6,500 per month for a total of $13,000, painting and repairing the interior of the house at Candy's request, and arranging for the replacement of 3 air conditioning units at $13,000 to be paid by the renter. Candy further informed Mark and Elena that she is the point of contact for all business related to the lease at 980 Pine Grove Road, and that Mark and Elena should not contact the occupants. Candy provided her phone number as Mark and Elena provided a copy of a lease agreement that listed the tenants as Black Heritage Radio Trust and the occupants as Ernesto Williams, Shirley Sheridan Strawberry. And I wonder if she did that purposefully. So if Mark and Elena never met Ernest and Shirley, and she's the only contact, it would stand to reason, many of you have asked, has Erica Kang impersonated or used Shirley's information? Based on this, I'm going to say, I guess so, yes. I guess she did, because if Ernest and Shirley never showed up to the party to actually sign the lease or deal with the actual landlords, and Erica King managed the whole thing. On top of that, she gave Sheridan's name incorrect. She gave Shirley's name incorrect. And Shirley says, along with Nesto, but we'll talk about him later, Shirley specifically and her daughter said they knew nothing about the leasing of this property. Well, again, like I said, you guys have asked, is it possible Erica King impersonated or identity thefted or used Shirley's information, any or all of those things potentially? And based on these documents, it's sounding like that might be the case, right? So get back to the reading. The tenants as Black Heritage Radio Trust, Inc., and that the occupants as Ernesto, Shirley, and Sheridan, and 2 minor children, 7 and 12. The lease was signed by tenants Sheridan Strawberry and Ernesto Williams on March 15th, 2022. Which makes no sense, because why would Shirley's daughter, who has an apartment that Shirley pays for, be signing a lease with her stepfather, Ernesto Williams, aka Ernest Williams, on March 15th, 2022? It would make sense that Nesto needed a place to live because they had just got kicked out of Bent Creek. So when Nesto says he never lived there, maybe Shirley didn't like the place. I don't know, but they were in between housing at that point, right? So the lease was signed by tenants Sheridan Strawberry and Ernesto Williams on March 15th and landlord Mark Kroll on March 16th. An investigation revealed that Williams also maintains a residence with Shirley Strawberry, and that would have been probably Bent Creek at that moment, but they weren't completely out of Bent Creek at that moment, right? Okay, so they said to read number 4. The 990 Pine Grove lease, let's go back to this. The 990 Pine Grove lease was purportedly brokered by real estate agent Tammy Strong, but Tammy Strong was a fraudulent identity assumed by who? Miss King, for the purpose of receiving $1,000 commission on the deal, which she in fact received at number 3. Is that this? Number, I guess maybe it's number 3. On June 9th, Officer Jamal regarding the suspicious activity at 980 Pine Grove. Mr. Kroll advised that his renter at 980 has never paid rent, and he and his wife are suspicious that the residence is fraudulently leased, and they are not sure who is occupying the residence. Okay. CID at 3 Pine Grove Road lease. Oh, Pine Grove Road lease. Okay. CIG 3 1 2 3. Oh, right here. Okay. Can you guys see this? Okay. This is the all right. Keller Williams, Tammy Strong. This is that. Okay. This is the lease. And Tammy Strong is in here, but Tammy Strong I think Tammy Strong exists, but they stole this person's identity again. Okay. So just another fraud. All right. Back to here. 990 Pine Grove Road at 11. At 11. Or is that II? Okay, we'll keep going. The signatures for Candy Relaford and Tammy Strong on the lease where forgeries were made by Miss King, 990 Pine Grove Road, lease at 12. Let me see. I'm lost on these footnotes on this part. I'm not sure what they're talking about. Okay. While Miss King paid the first 2 months rent at 990 Pine Grove Road, rent had not been paid for several months and at least $13,000, $13,500 in arrears at the time of the search. Search warrant SW 030257 at 3. Is that what this is? Oh, that's this right here. I wish you would have put Exhibit H. Okay. At number 3. That's here. Okay. So they're mentioning right here, this part right here. Okay. On April 16th, Miss King provided a check in the amount of $4,450 to the 990 Pine Grove landlord. The check was returned for insufficient funds. The account holder on the check was listed as Candy Relaford. I guess they can't figure out, do they want to spell Candy with a C or Candy with a K? Because notice here, she's Candy with a C. And then notice right here, it's Candy with a K. So it's like interchangeable candies, right? And I mean, K and C does matter, right? The account holder on the check was listed as Candy Relaford. The bank name was listed as Urban Trust Bank. The account number was listed as this number. Notably, as discussed in section 7 below, on the same date, April 6th, another check was sent to Seasons Comfort Heating and Air for work done at 980 Pine Grove Road, rented by the defendant using the same bank name, Urban Bank Trust, and the same account number. That check was also returned for insufficient funds, had the account holder listed as Black Heritage Radio Trust Association, and was signed by the defendant. On June 3rd, more than a month before 990 Pine Grove Road search, a dispossessory affidavit was filed on 990 Pine Grove Road to initiate eviction proceedings. See Exhibit II. Girl. This was the dispossessory that was filed. What? 6/3/22. That's a whole entire month before Nesto was arrested. And see how it says plaintiff name, Candy with a C, Candy with a K. Okay. We'll go back later and read this whole thing. I feel like we've read this once before, but just someone make a note. We'll go back and read in total HH. This is the whole entire narrative, but we've read this before. But we can read it again, but it goes into detail about, we'll circle back to this before the end. Okay. We'll just keep, finishing through this, and just kind of read the footnotes as they are. Okay. So it was II dispossessory affidavit, and the summons were served on Miss King under Candy Relaford alias July 8th, 2022, the same day that 990 Pine Grove Road search warrant was executed. CJJ. Baby. Candy Relaford, Candy. Marshall's entry of service. Hey, excuse me. Good morning. Hi, good morning. We have a search warrant. Okay. Marshall's entry of service based on the above. The defendant had no reasonable expectation of privacy in the 990 Pine Grove Road residence because he was not on the lease and had no authority to reside there. And even if he resided there, Any expectation of privacy was abandoned due to the residence was procured by fraud. The defendant has no standing to challenge the search at 990 Pine Grove Road. I mean, period. It's like period on that. Outside of the whole thing with Shirley and the marriage and all of that, and trying to like have the privileges of marriage, on top of all of that, this fraud was ongoing and it was already unraveling before he got stopped and his car got seized. Okay, that's what I'm getting. Even assuming for the sake of the argument that the defendant has standing to challenge 990 Pine Grove search, and that information in the search warrant affidavit had been obtained lawfully, the search was lawful. When determining the validity of the search warrant issued pursuant to the affidavit that contains both lawfully and unlawfully obtained evidence, the trial court must first determine whether, after excising information regarding unlawfully obtained evidence from the warrant affidavit, the remaining evidence is sufficient to support finding probable cause. Second, the trial court must determine whether the officer's decision to obtain a search warrant was prompted by what he observed. On its face, the affidavit supporting 990 Pine Grove Road search warrant survives this test. The affidavit contains 22 numbered paragraphs. See search warrant SW 030257 for those. Only half of a paragraph 18 and the whole of paragraph 19, 20, and 21 contain information related to the seizure and search of the F-350. Okay, let's go back to that. Okay, so he said half of 18. Okay, so let's read. Okay, we're back to the search warrant. On July 7th, 2022, officers observed Williams driving the subject vehicle on Pine Grove Road eastbound away from 980 and 990 PGR. Officers observed a 2017 F Ford 350 dually truck pull into and park at 1007 Alpharetta Highway. We saw that in the body cam video, right? Officers observed Williams exit the 2017 Ford F-350 dually truck and start taking pictures of a for lease sign. Pursuant to known warrants, Williams' identity was confirmed and he was arrested and transported to Roswell Police Department. Williams asked about his truck and phone, and at which time Detective Gooden informed Williams that his truck would be impounded with an investigative hold and his phone would be placed into evidence. Williams seemed concerned about his truck and advised that he had business papers related to Nesto's elite security within the truck. Officers, upon arrest and impound, noticed a large suitcase in the rear passenger driver's seat side. Williams asked to retrieve his medications from a bag in the passenger seat of his truck and retrieve his wife Shirley Strawberry and his attorney Erica King's phone number from his phone. He asked for Erica King, okay? Gooden obtained Williams' iPhone and asked for his passcode, to which he provided as blank. Gooden unlocked the phone and retrieved Shirley's phone number as, and Erica Kang's phone number as. Note, phone number blank is associated with Tammy Strong as discussed above. So that's her catch-all scam phone. Moreover, when Gooden confirmed that Erica King is Williams' attorney, he advised that she is his paralegal. He advised she is his paralegal. First he said attorney, then he said, well, why would you have a paralegal? The 2017 Ford F-350 dually truck was towed to Roswell Police Department and was stored in a secured lot. Detective Gooden contacted Officer Corey Dovell an officer in Roswell Department who has been employed since 2012. Doval is assigned to duties of training, maintaining, and handling dual purpose patrol and narcotic detector canines and has been partnered with his current dog, Ivor, since August 2019. Ivor is a Belgian Malinois from Holland and was born July 18. Ivor was successfully certified to the standards established by the National Narcotic Detector Dog Association, with the last certification being 12/27/21. Ivor is trained to detect and alert to the presence and the following narcotic contraband odors: methamphetamine and methanol dioxymethylphetamine, cocaine, and heroin. At Gooden's request, Doval deployed Ivor to an open air sniff of a white 2017 F Ford 350 dually truck. Ivor positively alerted on 2017 on the 2017 Ford dually truck for the presence of illegal narcotics discussed above. On July 8th, at approximately 1444 hours, Judge Debbie Ann Rickman, Magistrate Court, Fulton County, authorized a search warrant for Williams' 2017 Ford F-350 dually truck assigned license plate and VIN number. During the search, investigators located numerous documents to support the crimes being investigated, such as buyer's contract between Williams and Atlanta Fine Cars in Jonesboro, Georgia. Gooden contacted the owner of Atlanta Fine Cars and confirmed that they own the 2014 Bentley Mulsanne displaying Georgia plates. The investigators have constantly observed they said constantly observed parked at 980 PGR. The owners are advised Williams has not paid on the vehicle for the past 1.5 years, and it's currently under repossession. Wait a second, guys. The owners advised that Williams had not paid on the vehicle for the past 1.5 years, and it's currently under repossession. Atlanta Fine Cars is in the process of filing a police report. So it was a buy here, pay here, fine car lot, because normally you buy a car and you have a car note, it's with a bank. Like the dealership is usually out of it. So Atlanta Fine Cars, maybe we need to call them and find out if they're still open. They must be a luxury buy here, pay here. Okay, because that's what it sounds like. They say that they are the owners. So it doesn't appear he was doing in-store financing. Atlanta Fine Cars is in the process of filing a police report for theft by conversion. Documents from the 2017 Ford F-350 dually truck also revealed that both Strawberry and Williams are delinquent in excess of $40,000, which we know this, in payments to the owners at 2155 Bent Creek Manor in Alpharetta. No evidence of narcotics was located in the vehicle. How much more am I supposed to read over here? I think that's it. Okay. Girl, we'll read this whole document later, but we're just going to stick with what the footnotes are so it doesn't take us another 5 hours to go through this. Okay. Baby, let me see what you guys are saying. Let me come over and see what the talk is in the chat. Is the chat talking? Are y'all just typing and working in meetings? What's going on here? Oh, thank you, Alan Speed. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for Nikki D. Nikki D. Okay. And Alan Speed. Thank you. Thank you for supporting everybody in the chat. Thank you for watching. Okay. All right. You're just listening. You're just listening. It's a lot to listen to, so I get it. Just listening. Just both. Okay. Okay. I'm just checking. I'm checking. Okay. Here from the bushes, a lady. What's going on? Sir is cooked. In a meeting, pretending to pay attention. Stop. Don't lose your good black job, girl. Don't lose that good black job, okay? Y'all better hold on to these good jobs. Nesto is a whole bum who wanted to appear as if he was rich. Okay? B. Ann. Hey, boo, how are you? Hey, good morning to everybody. We're here and we're doing it, right? I'm at work and I'm listening. Okay. All right, guys, I'm going to go back. Let me go back to my exhibit page and let me go back to my reading page. Okay. Let's hear how this is done, y'all. Okay. Okay. I think I'm here. All right, I'm just going to start right here. See search warrant of those okay, so only half of 18 and the whole paragraphs of 19, 20, 21 contain information related to the seizure and the search of the F350. Okay. So the paperwork that was located that basically let everybody know that Nesto was on some buy here pay here luxury lot, and also the documents that were showing that Shirley and Nesto hadn't been paying rent all of COVID, okay? That house that they were posting up in, baby, not a lick of rent. I think they paid just a few months of rent, but they were in the rears at $40,000 to rental payments because the COVID restrictions were in place and Nesto was trying to take full advantage of the people that own that home and not pay them anything. Which is what it appeared to me. Okay. The only fact contained in any of those paragraphs arguably related to 990 Pine Grove Road is that the police located paperwork related to the 2014 Bentley Mulsanne that had been seen parked at the neighboring residence of 980 Pine Grove Road. Based on the affidavit alone, it is clear, even after excising half of paragraph 18, that the whole of 19, 20, and 21, that 990 Pine Grove Road search warrant remains supported by probable cause, and that the decision to obtain the search warrant was not prompted by any information learned as a result of the seizure of the F-Ford 350 for the reason set forth above. None of the evidence seized at 990 Pine Grove Road is subject to suppression. Period. Okay. 980 Pine Grove Road. So the defendant appears to assert that all of the evidence found during 980 Pine Grove Road residence should be suppressed by the court. So it should be suppressed if the court determines that the Ford F-350 was unlawfully seized. Defendant's suppression brief at 7. The defendant's motion fails to articulate in writing specific facts supporting 980 Pine Grove Road search to the search of the Ford F-350 as required by statute OCGA 17530. Instead, he merely lists the items seized during the search. In any case, just like his challenge to 990, the defendant's challenge to 980 search fails on for two reasons. First, the defendant lacks the standing to challenge 990 search because the residence was procured by fraud. Maybe they meant to say 980, but so the 980 Pine Grove Road search fails for two reasons. First, the defendant lacks standing to challenge 990 as residence was procured by fraud. Second, even if he has standing, the issuance of the 990 Pine Grove Road search warrant did not depend on any evidence found in the F-350, as discussed in detail in section 6 above. To claim protections guaranteed by the Fourth Amendment, the defendant bears the burden of demonstrating both subjective expectation of privacy and objectively reasonable expectation of privacy that society is prepared to recognize as legitimate. And they're citing, again, citing the law. Georgia courts have rejected the proposition. This is the same kind of argument that he stated in all of the other points of contention. So first, the lease came about when the defendant, I'm right here. This is where I'm at. I skipped down because some of these things are repetitive. Okay, I'll start right here. Defendant was subject to as such, even if the defendant was subject to expectation of privacy at 980 Pine Grove Road, that expectation was objectively unreasonable because the residence was procured by fraud. As a starting point, the lease itself was fraudulent. First, the lease came about when the defendant's accomplice, Erica King, contacted Mark Krall using a fraudulent identity of Candy Relaford, CKK. The lease itself purported to have been an agreement between Mark Krall and an entity called Black Heritage Radio Trust, CLL. Did we look at LL yet? LL Cool J is hard as hell. I don't care what you say. I don't care who you tell. I had to say that. See Exhibit LL. Okay. Okay. LL. Georgia Standard Lease Agreement, Mark Krall, mailing address, tenants, Black Heritage Radio, occupants, Ernesto, Shirley with the wrong middle name, and Sheridan, I think with the wrong middle name too. Okay. This is the 980 lease. Okay. This is that. Okay. Now, whose signatures are these? Girl, somebody put, is that supposed to be, okay, Mark? Landlord, okay. Landlord, okay. Oh. This is, I mean, I don't know that's all the same signatures. You can tell it's all the same handwriting. And then the fake notary stamp. Okay. So Mark signed this. Okay, they signed this on 3/15. They were not together when it was signed. So these signatures were from 3/15. Erica King tried to be cute and got them notarized. And the notary seal is fake. Okay, interesting. Okay. The lease itself purported to have been an agreement between Mark Kroll and the entity Black Heritage Radio Trust, CLL, 980, see Exhibit LL, 980 Pine Grove Road lease. Subsequent investigation revealed that Black Heritage Radio was a fraudulent business entity created for the purpose to fraudulently renting 980 Pine Grove Road. See search warrant SW 030256 at number 4. Documents reviewed by the police showed that the defendant and Miss King provided false documents to Mr. Krall to procure the lease, including tax documents with different business entities, Black Heritage Broadcast Radio Trust. Other false documents provided to Mr. Krall, including one indicated Black Heritage Radio Trust Inc. was associated with an address in Wellington, Florida, but open source records revealed no legitimate connection to that address. Another document listed an employer identification number, so EINs, purportedly associated with Black Heritage Radio Trust, but police investigation revealed the EIN provided was false. Moreover, several of the trust formation documents provided to Mr. Krall purported to have been prepared by Goldberg Sutton, the same law firm name fraudulently used by the defendant and Erica King described in section V above. Finally, finally, the lease itself was notarized using stolen identity and forged notary stamp C11. The lease purports to have been notarized by Amanda Johnson, who received her notary commission in Cherokee County, Georgia. Only one notary named Amanda Johnson was commissioned in Cherokee County at the time of the lease. At the time the lease was signed, police contacted Miss Johnson, who confirmed she did not notarize 980 Pine Grove Road lease and that the notary stamp on the lease did not match her actual notary stamp, CMM. This is embarrassing. Amanda sent a note to Detective Gooden. She also copied off of me, Natalie Fields, and JF West of Cherokee, Georgia. I guess maybe I don't know who that is, but she said the notary is fraudulent. Attached is the copy of my actual seal. We'll go to NN. That is her seal. Is that her? So she says that is her seal. Good till January 13 of 2025. The seal that was on that document. Let's look at the differences. Okay, see her seal? That's the fraudulent seal that I just showed in blue. She's like, that's not my seal. Okay, so she has her January written out and it goes along the bottom. It's different. She knows her seal. January is spelled out completely, and it says Notary Public in the middle rather than the other way. Commission expires. Okay. Well, she says that is not her seal at all. Okay. Interesting. Amanda Johnson's notary stamp and Amanda Johnson's email. Okay. Moreover, rent had not been paid in several months and was thousands of dollars in arrears at the time of the search, and the defendant and Miss King had provided multiple checks to the landlord that had been returned for insufficient funds, including the deposit check written at the time of the lease was signed at 980 Pine Grove Road. See Exhibit 00. Wow. Uh-oh. Girl, uh-oh. Oh, okay. Check number 0099 returned NSF, notably as discussed in section 6 above. One of the return checks sent to Seasons Comfort Heating and Air for work done at 980 Pine Grove Road used the same bank name, Urban Trust Bank, and the same account number as another returned check delivered by Miss King to the 980 Pine Grove Road landlord. Search warrant SW030256 at 3 on June 15th, 2022. Kroll provided an invoice to the defendant for a total of $32,980 in unpaid rent and fees for a period of March 15th, 22 through June 15th, 22. See Exhibit PP. Oh my God. It's just the financials in this. It's racking up. It's definitely racking up. I mean, people can say, oh my God, $1 million. That seems like a lot. when you add up a lot of this stuff, that calculator could go to $1 million. What do you guys think? I mean, I think if someone got their calculator out, you might see $1 million. What do you guys think? Great. Thank you. It's giving a damn shame. It's giving, we need an accountant. Okay. We need a forensic accountant out here. Thank you, T Rain. Thank you. Men lie, women lie, receipts don't. I'm dead. Okay. The car lot is still open. I live down the street. Are they a luxury buy here, pay here type situation? It's all about the documents. Okay. Thank you, all of you guys. Okay. All right. Let's get back to it. This is a receipts drop on that ass. Okay. Let me show you guys. This is the Mark Crawl. Maybe that's their little QuickBooks page or whatever. But it's totaling $32,980. 6,500. I mean, that 6,500 comes quick. Okay. All right. So they said Exhibit PP. Okay. Exhibit PP. $32,980 in unpaid rent and fees. Okay. See Exhibit PP, which we did. Okay. I'm in shock. 980 Pine Grove Road invoice on June 8th, 2022. A month before 980 Pine Grove Road search warrant was executed, Mr. Crawl filed a dispossessory affidavit. See, there's so many bits and bobs and pieces and all kinds of things that they are real. I think they were hoping that it was just that someone was not going to be as detailed as they needed to be to really put all of these little pieces together. But it's like every time Sean comes with something, there is a reason. Now I get, like, so some of you guys were giving Joey the business in the comments the other day, and I get what he was saying, but at the end of the day, Nesto and Erica are getting everything they deserve. I think fundamentally we want to be careful to reserve and respect people's rights and the law as it pertains to like the spirit of the law and the letter of the law. But at the end of the day, these two people were out here doing the absolute most, and I get it fundamentally, but this is a very specific case of two people leaving almost no stone unturned of fuckery, and they deserve absolutely everything that is happening at this moment. I mean, Erica walked away with damn 17 felonies for a reason. She took those felonies like a damn Western omelet because she knew she probably, like, she wasn't going to be able to defend it, and maybe she just didn't want to spend any more time in jail. But damn it, this is a lot of stuff. And even though maybe the process was improper, it's still legal. Just like they want a legal technicality, the police and law enforcement have a legal technicality because of all of the fraud that was going on. All of this information would have been found anyway, according to them. So I don't feel bad for them at all. I really don't. Yeah, he's in this position because this is what he did. This is the harvest of the seeds he planted, right, Vicky? When I was going through all of this evidence, Erica was slippery and but sloppy, and I noticed a lot of things she relied on people not picking up on. I think they were navigating in the cracks and crevices of Atlanta, and they didn't think that people were going to come to the cracks and the crevices, the crevasses, and that they were going to just inconvenience people out of their money. But these totals are too much for people to be like, you know what? these totals are now totaling. So I don't care. Like, as far as what Sonia says, $1 million. Get your, you know how sometimes you're at the store and you're like, oh my God, my bill was like, you go to Zara and you pick up like 8 things and you get to the register and your bill is like $475. And you're like, but damn, stuff was like $39. What did I pick up? And your bill is damn near 500 and you're like, what did I do? This is one of those. I think if you hit those old fashioned calculators and start doing a tally real quick, because I mean, Gail Bickham alone is over $200,000. So all of this $30,000 here, $40,000 there, $10,000 here, $8,000 there, late payments, inconveniences, court situations, all of these things, I could see it adding up to $1 million. It's looking closer to $1 million than not. Okay. Girl, the way he tried to gaslight her with prayer was unbelievable. That deserves a damn beat down on that. Okay, let's get back. We're on page 26, guys. Y'all, we made it. Okay. Let me get back to the text. Okay. To the reading of the shenanigans of Ernest and Erica Kine. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so basically at the end of the day, the dispossessory had already been filed. Okay, period. Did we see QQ? Okay, we're at QQ. Okay, we're at QQ. They want us to see something on QQ. Okay. This is QQ, Black Heritage Radio dispossessory. Okay. And the certificate of service on RR. We may as well just stay here. RR. So they served the dispossessory. And then we're gonna go to before we get to SS, let's stop right here. Okay, so the QQ was the dispossessory affidavit, and then the certificate of service was RR. Okay. Finally, 2 days later, the defendant and Ms. King delivered a fraudulent cease and desist letter to Mr. and Mrs. Crawl from Goldberg Sutton LLP letterhead using the stolen identity of Eileen BBL attorney Nicole Mormon, in Atlanta criminal defense attorney. See Exhibit SS, baby. Dear Mark and Elena Crawl, by way of introduction, this firm represents the managing members of Black Heritage Radio Association Trust, whom on March 14th, 2022, you leased your property to. It has been brought to our attention that criminal trespass and illegal surveillance is being conducted through the exploitation of the inspection clause contained in the lease. Since the inception of the lease, 3 requests of inspection have been made by Mark Crawl to inspect the premises in accordance with the executed lease. The tenant's representative complied with the first request and was present at the initial inspection occurred on Friday, May 27th. It is my understanding that access to the property was granted, and on that day, the landlord chose not to go past the formal dining room area. The second and third inspection was requested by the landlord to occur on 6/8/22 at noon and 6/9 from 11 to 1. The tenant's representative did not consent to the inspection and was not available to meet the landlord at the property due to the ongoing health issues. It has been brought to my attention that the law firm that on June 9th, 2022, that Mark and Elena came to the property without consent or agreement of the tenants and their representative. And both Mark and Elena entered the property and conducted criminal trespass and illegal surveillance under the guise of inspection. Criminal trespass. The events occurring on June 9th invoke Mark and Elena arriving at the property approximately 12:04, ending at 13:42. The door to the property was unlocked and opened by Crawl, despite signage informing the landlord that confidential medical records are contained in the property by the leasee and is the owner of an operator of a business requiring confidential storage of sensitive medical records. Our client suspects that unauthorized photos, audio, and video recordings, as well as photographs being taken without their consent. This office is also in possession of photo and video evidence from the tenant's security system of Mrs. Crawl taking photos of the tenant's license plates and as seen below. No, she did not. They're over here taking the pictures. Look at the ambulance. I'm dead, y'all. Y'all, I'm done. I'm so done. I cannot. I can't. Y'all. Hold on. Those are the Harleys. There's the ambulance. There's the Mulsanne. Mm-mm-mm. These people are some fools. They are clowns. They are some straight up clowns. Okay. Wow. But it's their house. Like you guys have said in when we were talking about the landlord over there in Detroit, the landlord's just over there protecting their property, right? And they're taking pictures of what is in their yard over to their good, nice piece of property, right? Because where are they? They're over here. Even though it looks all gloomy on today, it doesn't look so gloomy over there. Let's see. Okay. Does this look more like today? All right. Okay. You see over here? Over here. Next door is 990. This is 980. Okay. Mm-mm-mm. Okay, so they showed the pictures, Mrs. Crawl taking pictures. Okay. I would like to advise you, are we back on this? Let me make sure. Okay, we're back. Okay. I would like to advise you and your wife that it is against the law in Georgia to invade the privacy of someone else to record the person without permission. Georgia has passed laws restricting citizens' rights to spy, survey, and record others. Section 161162 Official Code of Georgia makes it unlawful to intentionally record, wiretap, eavesdrop, and conduct surveillance on a person or their personal property without their consent. Breaking this law in the state of Georgia constitutes a felony punishable with up to 5 years in prison. And so they're being coercive, all of these things. I would have at this point just called a lawyer. Georgia also has a special law regarding hidden cameras, which makes it a crime to use hidden cameras or other device to photograph, observe, or record someone else while that person is in the private place away from public's view. To lawfully record these activities, a person must gain the consent of all parties in the video and photographs violating the hidden camera. So all of this, okay, I don't even know if everything she's saying is correct, and it very well might be, but at the end of the day, all of these contracts were fraudulent, so Erica needs to shut the hell up, okay? To lawfully record these activities, a person must gain the consent of all parties in videos, et cetera, et cetera. The purpose of this letter is to formally demand that you immediately cease all ongoing criminal trespass and illegal surveillance activity upon the tenants and their personal property, including their motor vehicles and professional files. I guess that's why they went ahead and they were like, fuck it, we're calling the police. The lease guarantees the tenant's right to quiet enjoyment. And although you are the owners of the property, you cannot infringe on the rights of the tenants. Our clients also indicate that Mrs. Kroll has indicated that an eviction has been filed against the tenants. If an eviction is the proper vehicle that you and your wife have decided to take as tenant's attorney at law, I hereby requesting civil process service of said eviction filing. The tenants are now represented by undersigned counsel, and as such, all communications with them must be directed to undersigned counsel at the contact information below. She's like living her best fake lawyer life. Please also be advised that there will be no meetings or conferences taking place with the tenants and their representatives without their attorney being present. Now that litigation is pending, there will be no meeting occurring today at 5 p.m. as I am not available on such short notice to meet with you on their behalf. Instead, please direct all communications to my office. She's getting straight bitchy on them. And such conferences will be scheduled with our secretary at a time conducive to the attorney's schedule. If you are represented by counsel, please forward your attorney's information to us. Lastly, provide our office with a copy of your eviction complaint and mail it to our office. Mail it and mail to our office or send via sheriff's entry of service. Eileen Nicole Mormon, okay? And Eileen Nicole Mormon, hold on. I think she just went viral last week for something. Is this her? Wait, hold on. I've showed you guys her picture before. This is Nicole Mormon. We've seen her before, but they call her the BBL attorney. And does she have a BBL? I do not know. I don't know if she has a BBL or not. Okay. But she was Lil Durk's attorney. She still might be his attorney. I don't know. But okay. Whew. Jesus. Okay. All right. We were over there at Exhibit SS. So that was the letter. Back to 2 days. Finally, 2 days later, the defendant and Ms. King delivered a fraudulent cease and desist. That's the cease and desist I just read to Mr. and Mrs. Kroll at Goldberg Sutton. Letterhead using the stone. I mean, just think about all of the dispossessory. Think about the eviction and think about the lawyer that they probably had to hire. The lost rent, the lawyer they had to engage, the time, frustration, energy of dealing with, you have a nice property, you'd like to rent it out to people who can pay, and payments are not coming. Now you're being gaslit by fake attorneys Like weird shit is happening. Like this is a nightmare. You know what I'm saying? This is just a nightmare. Um okay, delivered a fraudulent cease and desist to Mr. and Mrs. Crawl at from on Goldberg Sutton letterhead using a stolen identity of Eileen Nicole Mormon, who I just showed you, an Atlanta criminal defense attorney, Exhibit SS, the cease and desist. Okay. Cease and desist letter. The letter falsely stated that Miss Mormon represented Black Heritage Radio Associated Trust and accused Mr. and Mrs. Crawl of criminal trespass and illegal surveillance. The letter threatened litigation and confirmed that the defendant had received notice of eviction proceeding initiated against him. The letter threatened litigation and confirmed that the defendant had received notice of eviction proceeding initiated against him. Lastly, please provide our office with a copy of the eviction complaint and or mail to our office or send via sheriff's entry of service. Based on the above, the defendant had no reasonable expectation of privacy in the 980 Pine Grove Road residence because the residence was procured entirely by fraud. As such, the defendant has no standing to challenge the search of 980 Pine Grove Road. Even assuming for the sake of argument that the defendant has standing to challenge the 980 Pine Grove Road search and some information in the search warrant affidavit had been obtained unlawfully, the search was lawful. As discussed above, when determining the validity of the search warrant issued pursuant to the affidavit that contains both lawfully and unlawfully obtained evidence, the trial court must first determine whether, after excising information regarding unlawfully obtained evidence from the warrant affidavit, the remaining evidence is sufficient to support a finding of probable cause. Second, the trial court must determine whether the officer's decision to obtain the search warrant was prompted by what he observed. On its face, the affidavit supporting the 980 Pine Grove Road search warrant survives this test. The affidavit contains 22 numbered paragraphs. Of those, only half of 18 and the whole of 19, 20, 21 contain information related to the seizure and the search of the Ford F-350. F-350. The fact contained in only of those paragraphs arguably related that 980 Pine Grove Road is that police located paperwork related to the 2014 Bentley Mulsanne that had been seen parked at 980 Pine Grove Road. Based on the affidavit alone, it is clear, even after excising half of paragraph 18 and the whole of 19, 20, and 21, that the 980 Pine Grove Road search warrant remains supported by probable cause, and that the decision to obtain the search warrant was not prompted by the seizure of the Ford F-350. For the reasons set forth, none of the evidence seized at 980 Pine Grove Road is subject to suppression. Items seized directly from the Ford 350. The state concedes that certain items of physical evidence found in the Ford 350 listed by the defendant's brief would be subject to suppression if the court determines that the Ford 350 was illegally seized. Those items are the following, one of which is essential to providing an element of any offense charged in this case. Wells Fargo letterhead dated April 15, 2022, related to the Bent Creek Manor residence. Affidavit of garnishment related to. So I wonder, by the time Shirley's check, you guys have asked this question too. Well, Shirley should have known that her monies were being seized and that her paycheck was going to get garnished. Well, Nesto had that in his car. Affidavit of garnishment related to 2155 Bent Creek Manor. It's possible Shirley didn't find out maybe until someone told her at her job. Her HR payroll person or the HR business partner may have tapped her on the shoulder and said, hey, we just got a garnishment. We'd like for you to come and talk. Payroll is getting ready to do this, that, and the third, which definitely happens. That actually happens. So it's possible she could have gotten a written notice from her job that a garnishment has just been processed and will be coming out of her paycheck, or there could have been a conversation and they would have provided her with a copy, especially because of the amount. On top, not just because of the amount, but the amount is large that she's being garnished, right? But it seems like he had some sort of paperwork in his possession as well. Okay. Paper with Miss Scretchen's credit card number, a hotel invoice with the exception of the Hilton Hotel and Resort Hotel folio number discussed below. Is that where Sonia ended up giving them that receipt? 5 silver and so number 5, silver and black GTAC computer. 6, black iPhone found in the black bag. Gold iPhone found in the truck. Scan disk 32 gig drive. Vehicle keys with the exception of any keys found on the defendant's person discussed below. Storage unit keys. Baby, those 2 black dildos. How embarrassing. This is so embarrassing. The state concedes that certain items of physical evidence found inside the F-350 listed in the defendant's brief would be subject to suppression. Okay, so they can suppress the dildos. They can suppress the storage unit keys. Did they do a search of the storage unit? We don't know. The black mask with zippers, I guess they are okay with suppressing that. I don't know. Okay, let me read this seriously. Okay, the state concedes that certain items of physical evidence found inside the F-4350 listed in the defendant's brief would be subject to suppression if the court determines that the F-350 was illegally seized. Those items are as follows. 1, the Wells Fargo letterhead. 2, the affidavit of garnishment. 3, a paper with Miss Scretchen's credit card. 4, a hotel room invoice with the exception of the Hilton Hotel and Resorts Hotel folio number discussed below. 5, the GTAC computer. 6, black iPhone. 7, gold iPhone. 8, a flash drive. 9, vehicle keys with the exception of keys found on his person. 10, storage unit keys. 11, 2 black dildos. 12, the black zipper mask. 13, liquid Viagra. Remaining items are not subject to suppression. The invoice from the sale of the Mercedes-Benz vehicle was provided to the state by Gail Bickham. Wah, wah. So Nesto had what he had. Gail Bickham, the invoice from the sale of the Mercedes-Benz vehicle was provided to the state by Miss Bickham, independent of the search of the F Ford 350. Okay. Exhibit TT, Wade Ford, the Wade Ford invoice, the Hilton Hotel and Resort folio. Hold on. Folio 71114A was provided to the state by who provided some information for Nesto? Girl, who provided this information? Head op. Sonia, you're the ops, okay? The Hilton, the Wade Ford invoice, TT, and Hilton Hotel and Resort, hotel folio number 7111 4A was provided to the state by Sonia Durham. I'm horny, independent of the search of the Ford F-350.
You can sleep. Side hand, I'll be that too. Because chicks are young and this chick is old. So I'll be the side hand. Thank you, Reggie, for correcting her. I will be the side chick. The mistress, the side chick, the hand, It's whatever. I mean, name calling is what y'all do. That's
Ah! Okay, let's look at the receipts. Okay, this is what Sonia sent. Sonia, this is what you sent on your boyfriend. Hold on. Can y'all see this? Share this tab. Okay, here we go. This is TT. This is exhibit TT that was provided by is it TT or UU? TT is well, it says Wade Ford, so I guess this is it. This might be from Gail Bickham. Okay. This is the Wade Ford invoice, Nesto's Elite Security, and they traded her Benz with her VIN number. And yeah, okay. The Prevost, okay. They got all of that from Gail Bickham outside of the search. This is what Sonia provided. I don't still understand what this is referencing, but maybe we're gonna find out. They'll tell us what this has to do with anything. This Hilton hotel receipt. Did they go search his room? We don't know. I don't know what the relevance is of this receipt. The Hilton Hotel folio. Okay. I was wondering if maybe the credit card information, like the last 4 digits, had anything to do with anything, but I don't know. Okay, but you, Sonia, this is what you provided. And we know that she provided this not only because Will Wooten said so. Okay, that's number 1. But number 2 is because who said so? Senorita Blabbermouth. Remember Senorita Blabbermouth when she went live on the motion to quash? And she had some paperwork and some things, and she went live on her motion to quash, and she talked about the Hilton Rewards Hotel receipt, the Hilton folio, the receipt. What's up with that receipt, y'all? Thank you, Ponytail. And Senorita Blabbermouth, the Blabbermouth blogger, went live talking about what Sonia was going to. I wonder if the DA's office of Fulton County, Will Wooten's team is listening right now. Shouts out to you. Okay. Shouts out to the district attorney's office, Fonnie Willis. Everybody can get it. Shouts out to y'all. Okay. Okay, y'all. We know that Sonia provided this receipt for a couple of different reasons. One, because of her blabbermouth blogger friend, and because Will Wooten said so. Okay. Okay. When your side hand takes you out, okay? We don't know what I want to know what is. Look, what we do know about this receipt. Let's look at the receipt for a minute. The receipt was right before he got arrested. I don't even know if he even got to check out. Who checked out for Nesto? They said the checkout was 1:43. Was there a late checkout? Because What time was Nesto arrested? Maybe it was the afternoon. So maybe he had just checked out. Maybe he had just checked out, but he had been there for 7 days. He had a rate of $199 a night. They were getting food from downstairs, the market food. What this receipt has to do with anything, I have no idea. What is the significance of this receipt? Is he using someone's credit card? That's one of the things I thought of. Who was he at the hotel with? What is the significance of the receipt? The receipt says that he was resting his head at the hotel. Okay. He checked out at 1:43. There is a last 4 digits of a payment. I don't know. I guess it'll come out, but that is the you. Sonia, thank you for exhibit U. Okay. Thank you for exhibit U. Okay. All right. Girl, he was there with some broad. It might be one of his victims. We don't know. Okay. But yeah, interesting. Thank you for the gift, Boo Boo. Thank you for the milestones. Okay. Thank you guys. You love it here. We love you here, Boo. Girl. Coach running plays for the state. She's the ops. Okay. All right. Let's get back over here. All right. So Sonia has made it into the documents again. Sonia is providing that TT that the prosecution needs. Didn't I tell you guys 2 weeks ago that somebody smart would probably stop talking to somebody stupid? But it just seems like both people are stupid and they can continue to love on each other and be happy and talk for 5 minutes and just be slow. And Nesto can go ahead and serve out a life sentence over there at Fulton County by way of Cobb County. Okay. I mean, sir is just dumb. He's dumb. He's dumb with 3 D's. He's DDDUMB. Okay. He's just dumb and stupid with 4 O's. Okay. It could establish that he was resting his head elsewhere. So as far as, I mean, people do take staycations though, but he was not, it didn't appear that he's residing in the home. He was at a hotel, but the hotel receipt was only for 7 days, but that could have been there could be a staycation, but I don't know what that means. But let's go back and let's finish this up, because y'all, we are on page 28. Okay, we're on page 28, and let's get through this. Exhibit UU, Hilton Hotel Folio. The notice for payment from the Palmer Dodge was provided to the police by Palmer Dodge, independent of the search of the F4350. See Exhibit VV. VV. Okay, y'all. We're over here at VV. Okay. Tammy Sexton, the controller from Navy, drawn upon Navy Federal Credit Union. So the hot check. The Palmer Dodge documents are the receipt from the Palmer Dodge document is a receipt for a hot check that was returned. The notice for the payment from Palmer Dodge was provided to the police by Palmer Dodge, independent of the search. And that was VV. Okay. The receipt from Precinct 1 Auto, copy of the check from Wade Ford, Atlanta Fine Cars contract have not been obtained independent of the search of the F350, but readily could be. Okay, it could be. The receipt, do you see how snarky? The snark, I love it. The snarkiness, okay? He said, the receipt from Precinct 1 Auto Sales, copy of the check from Wade Ford and Atlanta Fine Cars contract have not been obtained independent of the search of the Ford F-350, but readily could be. And the state would request the court allow it the opportunity to do so if the court is inclined to suppress items. Finally, the black iPhone found in the defendant's person, as well as the vehicle keys or other items found on his person, are not subject to suppression because they were located during a lawful search of the defendant's person incident to arrest and were not from the search of the Ford F-350. Summary of payments. The defendant includes 3 additional categories that the state struggles to understand in the context of the motion to suppress. The first category is labeled as summary of payments. And appears to be a list of certain payments made by and to unspecified individuals on certain dates. It is unclear. This is this over here. This is Roberto's document. Well, this is the response, and then in the document, 5 and 6. Summary of payments. He's talking about something like this. The defendant includes 3 additional categories that the state struggles to understand in context of the motion to suppress. The first category is labeled summary of payments and appears to be a list of certain payments made by and to unspecified individuals on certain dates. So right here, on page 5 and 6. Now I get it. Okay. 5 and 6. It is unclear if this list refers to evidence seized from the Ford F-350 and the state cannot meaningfully respond. The second category includes a list of arrest warrants, specifically warrants EW 0408976 and EW 0408979 right here. You guys following? Okay. See page 6, exhibit WW. Oh, these are the text messages from Palmer Dodge about the hot check. We'll go back and read some of this stuff again, okay? We'll go through these receipts. Like, we've read a lot of these receipts. We haven't read all of it, but we'll go back and just read the receipts, okay? Specific, this is XX. This is WW. Okay. Which one is this about? Subsequent to the, I found the active warrant in Henry County, the investigation. Okay, see exhibit W, arrest warrants. The state is unfamiliar with any mechanism by which arrest warrants are themselves are somehow subject to an exclusionary rule. He's just trying to, like, why are we trying? So you have a list of things to suppress, right? Why are we trying to suppress? So maybe he's just trying to suppress the warrants that were executed as a result of the search. Maybe that's what he means. Subsequent warrants issued based off of the search. So he's saying that the nexus of these search warrants should be suppressed because of the vehicle search. But let's go back and see what Will has to say, okay? Arrest warrants. Okay, so those arrest warrants. The state is unfamiliar with a mechanism by which arrest warrants are themselves somehow subject to the exclusionary rule, and the defendant cites no support. If it is the defendant's position that the arrest warrant should be dismissed, that argument is rendered moot by the fact that the arrest warrants were long ago served, bound over to Fulton County Superior Court, and are no longer active. Again, he's just like, look, I don't know what you're trying to get with that for this, but it doesn't apply. Let's see, XX. So he included all of these. All right, let's get to XX. All of these warrants, we'll go back and read. Oh, some of these are not. Damn. Okay. Girl, they redacted this whole thing. Okay. They redacted it. Melody Scretchen. We've read these Melody Scretchen ones. I don't know if this is everything, but we've read some of these Melody Scretchen warrants already. They're like totally redacted. Okay. XX. Okay. He's saying that they're no longer active. Order of commitment. Moreover, the warrants were dismissed and superseded by the grand jury warrant. So he's like, you're including these on your brief, but these aren't even valid anymore. These got superseded by something else. So, and I guess that's it. Okay, that's XX. Let's see, YY. YY is, let's see what this is. This is YY. Order of commitment. Moreover, the warrants were dismissed by superseded by the grand jury warrant when the case was indicted. Comes now District Attorney Fonnie Willis, Atlanta Judicial Circuit, Atlanta Judicial Circuit, State of Georgia, and shows this honorable court that the facts of the case have been reviewed by with the arresting officer and have been determined that while probable cause existed for the defendant's arrest, the district attorney declines further prosecution of the above referenced cases. So basically, the warrants that he has listed, all of everything is on here, and basically it's stating that that probable cause existed for the defendant's arrest. The district attorney declines further prosecution of the above referenced case number for the following reasons. On April 23rd, 2024, the defendant was indicted for 39 felony counts in Fulton County Superior Court, 24 SC 001723. He is being held in custody on that indictment without bond. That indictment combined several related theft and fraud cases against the defendant, including the charges originally filed under the above referenced case number. Consequently, it is the decision of the district attorney not to prosecute the above named defendant under the above referenced case number for the charges listed therein, as further prosecution under the above referenced case would be duplicative of his prosecution in Fulton County Superior Court. Sean needs to go ahead and do some more of his homework, because some of these things were canceled and replaced by what is going on right now. So him referencing these old things makes it really kind of seem like, sir, you're not referencing the new things, okay? Which is what you're in court for right now with Mr. Williams, if I'm understanding it correctly. Okay. Embarrassing. Okay. I would just say embarrassing. That's embarrassing. That's embarrassing as hell. Okay. Sean needs to do his homework. Sean, you need to get caught up. Maybe you need to watch over here a little bit more. Okay. Because you are not caught up. Okay. And this is the decline to prosecute. Okay. DA declined to prosecute is ZZ. Look at all this. This is the grand jury bench warrant signed by Fonnie. Everyone can get it. T. Willis. Okay. Ooh. Hold on. Let me make sure I'm sure it's redacted, but let me just be sure. I don't want any problems. Okay. Hold on. Baby. Ooh. No bond. Oh, embarrassing. Embarrassing. Okay. That's embarrassing. That's embarrassing. Baby. Name calling, that's what y'all do. Okay. Okay. Fulton County, a warrant. What was this? This is dated. I hereby certify that I have this day served a copy of the state response to Defendants Supplemental brief to suppress the vehicle search and all derivative evidence. When was this? Oh, this is the end. This is the end. Okay. Oh my God. Okay, so that's the certificate of service. Thank you. Okay. Y'all, we made it to the last little bit of receipts. Y'all. Okay. That was the last page of the receipts, guys. Look how they ended it. They ended it on this, y'all. This was the last page that they ended the receipt on. Okay, let me finish reading. We'll go back to it. XX. Okay, we're over. Okay. As indicated, YY, the DA declined to prosecute. Are we here? You guys see? Exhibit ZZ, the grand jury warrant. The final category is labeled as associated acts and counts, and they have them all listed out. It is unclear whether this list is simply a reference of how certain pieces of evidence tied to charges listed in the indictment, or whether instead the defendant is seeking dismissal of those acts and counts of the indictment. Without more information, the state cannot meaningfully respond. Okay. For the reason set forth above, if the court determines that the F-Ford 350 was illegally seized, only the items listed in Section 8 should be suppressed. Respectfully submitted on the 3rd day of February 2025. Okay. And then starts the exhibits, but we were running 2 screens. So the exhibits ended here at page 276 with his picture. Okay. With the actual bench warrant, all of the things, and then the certificate of service. Okay. And so the page ran 29 page. The document, the narrative was 29 pages. The argument or his motion. What was this actually called again? Because I'm brain dead at this moment. The state's response to the defendant's supplemental brief. This state's response to the supplemental brief was 29 pages, and it was like 248 pages of receipts. And we did it in 2 hours. 1 hour, 59 minutes, and 56 seconds. Oh my God. Okay. Ooh. We read most of it. So, most of the receipts we read, there was like a few, there was maybe like a 2 police reports that we did not read in total, but we read all of the receipts. I'm going to say we read 95% of the receipts. There were like 2 things we did not read that we can go back to and read tomorrow or something. I was starting to get tongue tied towards the end, and I also didn't have any water while I was drinking. So boom, I'm just kidding. Nesto just needs to take a deal. I don't even know if they're going to offer him a deal after all this. They've put in some work. They put in some work. Um New member. Oh, hey Miss Lady. Hey Miss Lady. I know you've been a member before. I'm sure that's renewing. Thank you, sis, for supporting. Thank you, you guys. Guys, we have 720. We have more than 720, and there's 435 taps on that like. Can you guys do me a solid and let the likes match the looking and the lurking? Can we just take 1 minute just to tap on that like button? Thumbs up, whatever it is that you have. Thank you so much, friend. You are the goat of documents. Thank you. Thank you. This was fun. It was very much fun. I enjoyed it. I love a good read. Tap on the like. Okay. Show me some love. It takes 2 seconds. It does. Hoover, Will Wooten doesn't mind getting a little kiki off of Hoover, because Hoover's giving, not doing all of his homework. What I want to know, I guess we did get some questions answered, right? What did Shirley know? Shirley purposefully didn't know a lot because they weren't discussing anything. And if we even entertained to know Nesto at all, Nesto doesn't like talking about anything anyway. So Shirley maybe didn't want to know and really didn't care, just to be quite honest. She just let him handle his business because she knew she might have really realized he was on some shady shit anyway, and it was probably better for her not to know, right? We know what kind of information Hoover is getting and from whom, right? Um, what in the Hilton receipt, like, what does the Hilton receipt have to do with anything? I would love to know. That's something I think we'll find out at a certain point. Um, but it's like, it's so interesting that one of the first things that Sonia gives up is something that seems to be pertinent to the case. What does she know about this Hilton? What was going on over at the Hilton, and why does that Hilton receipt mean something? Please hit the like button, Sonia. Okay. Fulton County District Attorney's Office. Go ahead and hit that smackety smack on the likey like, please. Okay. Let's see. Let me see if I can get this picture up of Nesto. There were some crazy things that we found. Let me upload them to Drive real quick. These were some tasty, interesting items that I'm not mad at Fulton County for providing. Okay. Can I get them loaded? Okay. That's how I felt when I saw that picture. Okay, let me upload them to Drive real quick. My screenshots. Yeah, Blabbermouth basically told us about the Hilton receipt. So what the significance is of that, again, I have no idea, but I would love to know. So it's interesting that we know about that because of Blabbermouth. We would have known about it anyway because Will Wooten doesn't want to suppress the public's right to know information. So grateful for that. Okay. Grateful for that. But she basically double confirmed it by being the blabbermouth that she is because, well, sis can't hold water. Okay. All right, let's see. All right, let's see if these are. All right, let's go here. Hold on a second. All right. Let me share this instead. Okay. So we've seen all of that already. Okay, we've seen obviously this, we've seen his mugshot, but it's even just, it's on the paperwork was giving. Okay. No bond. I love that. That no bond. As hard as many calls that we had to listen to, that we had to endure, so much listening to him trying to finesse bond, trying to get out of jail, all of the phone calls, all of his finessing, all of his down talking to Shirley. This is where he's at. Okay. It's Mrs. Crawl taking pictures in the driveway with the ambulance and the Mulsanne and the 2 stolen motorcycles over there at the fraudulently procured 980 Pine Grove Road. Okay. 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 Y'all still 250 that haven't hit the like button yet. You guys are laughing. 748. You see this? I need to take a nap. 748. Somebody just left. They were like, forget it. I don't want to hit the thumbs up. 747, 512 likes. Okay. Ooh. Y'all, I was over here taking screenshots while I was trying to read. Okay. The mailboxes. It's the mailboxes for me. Okay. It's the Nesto private security in the background for me. Okay. It's the Nesto's private elite security for me. Okay. What else is there? Okay. Dear friend. Okay. We did it, guys. We did it, guys. Okay. You guys hit the thumbs up for me. This was so much fun. It's the side by side for me. Yes, it's the side by side. Okay. Anything else? It's a felon providing security. Girl, a mess. A mess, a mess. Mm-mm-mm. You have me on 2 TVs and girl, thank you. For that, I say, okay. Did it. You made it through the reading of 277 pages. Okay. Give yourself a pat on the back and some applause. Look at the avatar. Okay. Okay. Coach, are you an op? Hi, Justin's mom. Hi, everybody. Guys, we did it. I feel so accomplished on today. Okay. I feel like, well, damn, we did that. Okay. I feel like keep your legs closed to married men and you'll stay out of trouble. Right? Haven't we been saying, we've had a very consistent message the whole time. Keep your legs closed to married men and you won't be subpoenaed. You won't be listed in superseding documents. You won't be listed in the state's response. You will have your privacy. Thank you for the Cash App. Keep your legs closed to married men. Okay? Married men who are dating are trouble. Okay? Married men who date need to be left alone. Okay? Leave them suckers alone. Okay? I'm going to have to listen to everything again. Please do. Okay? Yo. Let's two-step. Okay? Left, right, turn around, dip it down, and lock it down. A left, right, back, dip it, now trip it, now dip it, left, right, dip it, spin it, drop it, lift it, a kick. If somebody actually does a video with my choreography, I'm gonna die. Yes, it's some Chicago style. Left, right, spin, twirl. Okay? Do you guys watch that lady? What is her name? Okay, let me turn off the music. There's this lady who I low-key watch on Facebook, and she wears a blonde circa 90s Mary J. Blige bob wig, and she always has on like some mean glasses. She's in Chicago. Do you know who I'm talking about? Her name is she's like, where are we? Chicago. Where we at? New York. Where we at? Orlando. And she goes and does like dance classes all over. She's very entertaining. You know who I'm talking about? She's very popular on Facebook. I think she's on Instagram too. You watch her too? Okay. In some killer heels, a old nasty blonde wig, and some very mean eyewear. She always has some mean eyewear on and something tight. Okay. And sis is nice and thick, but sis gets those ladies out there, for kind of like a little sexy dance class. Chin up, Sonya. It's gonna be okay. Look, the YouTube streets is still not trying to accept you, but at the end of the day, girl, chin up. Okay. Chin up, Buttercup. Everybody fucks up every now and again. It's okay. It's okay. All right, let me drop some coins on you guys. Thank you guys so much. Someone just attitude and Tylenol. Thank you. Sagittarius vibes. Thank you for supporting, sis. Nikki D. Thank you. Thank you, sis. I appreciate you. Let's see. You guys are so funny. We did our virtual Bougie Gang line dance. Thank you for gifting a friend. Will Wooten said, we don't need the poisonous tree or its fruits. We already had him. Sonia, you got me. Okay? Sonia, you get me? Sonia, you get me? Okay. Our good sis gifted a friend, and hold on a second. Let me find it. Girl, if you guys did my dance moves, you guys would be all over the place. I'm like, dip it, drop it, kick it. What does she say? Oh, basic. She says, okay, basic, left. She calls out these things and people already know what they are. She's really good. Okay, Nikki Love, drop some bingos in the chat, hun. Thank you so much, Sagittarius vibes. I appreciate it. Let me see where everybody else is. You understand me now? You understand me now? Okay. All right, guys. This was a lot of fun. I'm gonna let y'all go. I'm not gonna drag this out. I'll come back. I'm gonna come back in like an hour to maybe like a little bit before I need to go pick up Farrah and see what we got going on. Because there's stuff going on outside of this case. I mean, we know that, right? But I might come back in a little bit for a little bit, or put something together for after I pick her up from school. So I was reading the chat yesterday and someone said, can you send Boo Boo an Uber? Girl, that was hilarious. I don't know if I've ever seen, when we lived in the city of Charlotte, not the suburbs, girl, Farrah went to a school that was actually in downtown Charlotte. And sometimes there would be taxis and all kinds of shit picking the kids up. We are way out now. We're out. We sometimes I can't say we hear, like, we have a neighbor not in our neighborhood but out of our neighborhood but down the street. Girl, they got chickens over there. They always have like for sale egg signs up. How about them documents? Okay, I need to go back and listen to last night's recap. Yeah, we started right where we left off. So we'll go back. Like, some of these exhibits, I'm going to be honest with you, I do want to go back and read, but I don't want to do it today. Like, I'm out. I'm out. I'm spent on reading, but we'll get into some tomorrow. I feel like some of these we have read already. Obviously, some of these things we have already read a million times, about the Zelle payments and all that stuff with Scretchen. This is interesting. Look at this. I just zeroed in on this real quick. My eyes just said, Dominique, what? Hold on. Y'all got me looking again. We're going to have to get into these docs. Okay. Hold on. Let me get rid of Shirley. Bye, Shirley. Bye, Shirley. Okay. On October 3rd, 2021, Williams called and asked to meet Scretchen. They met at a parking lot in Alpharetta on one of Williams' motor coaches. Scretchen arrived. Williams was with a young female named Dominique. Okay. Later identified as, we know who she is. We'll just say Alasia at this point, who was his assistant but called his daughter. Williams stated to Scretchen that Dominique and she could meet on the coach about the work Dominique would be doing for her in regards to social media. We read this before. While Scretchen was on the coach with Dominique, her son was sitting. Oh, this is when Nesto took her son off the coach and I guess was talking to him or whatever. Williams stated Scretchen and Dominique could meet. Dominique would be doing her in regards to her social media while Scretchen was on the coach with Dominique. Her son was sitting with Williams in the Ford F-350. Scretchen stated that Dominique was supposed to work on her content on Instagram and help her gain followers. As of the current date, Dominique has never provided the service and was supposed to provide. She was supposed to provide Scretchen. After the meeting, Scretchen left with her son and went to have pizza around the corner. When she was getting ready to leave, her car would not start and she reached Williams. Remember this? And then that's when he gave her the ambulance or gave her something to drive. After a few attempts, it started. Williams stated to her that she needed to get a new car, that whole thing. We've read this. Okay. I feel like there was one that I hadn't read. I'm going to go through this and find like what is not familiar that we really did not read, and we'll get to those sometime this week, okay? But the heavy lift, baby, we did the heavy lift and it's done. Okay. The fact that she barely knew this man and she's on a motor coach, what if he was a different type of trafficker or trafficker in general and her son disappeared? Like, why would you get on a motor coach and let a grown-ass man sit in a vehicle with your son by himself and you don't know what the hell is going on? Okay? Like, people got to stop being slow. You know what I mean? I'm sorry. That is not appropriate to let your son, even though she is an educator, she's a teacher, you would think that you just can't leave your kid in anybody's company. That's just my opinion. I would never turn my back on my daughter standing in the company in the midst of some grown man that I do not know, and I am and sitting in some random vehicle. Like, that's weird to me. That's weird to me. And hopefully, ma'am, I know she's a victim of Nestos, but I hope that she learned her lesson. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't leave your son with anybody. This guy is a complete and total scammer, and you never know what he could have done with your child. I mean, people have had their kids disappear in just a matter of seconds. So, I don't know. I'm sure she has a lot of thoughts about what happened over the period of time with this man, and should, thank her lucky stars that she's okay, because this is some crazy shit. Anyway, guys, okay. You know who I'm talking about? The lady with the blonde hair and the glasses who does the dance classes. I like her. She always shows up in my feed, and then I'll sit there and I'm just watching the shorts. And I think she's really entertaining. I like that she has a very supportive following and they love her. So I think she provides a service to the women who want to have a fun Friday night out and learn some line dancing and stuff. So if that's what you were talking about, girl, a lot of women are quick to make a fake family dynamic. Absolutely. Or try to hold on to something rather than nothing. Like the whole thing with Jarvis, at the end of the day, all of these women had absolutely nothing with him. Yes, they did have kids, and kids are not nothing, obviously. But as far as relationships are concerned, they didn't have relationship. They didn't have relationships with that man. They had children. That's pretty much it. As far as a relationship, that guy was completely for himself and was out here living crazy. So anyway, I'm gonna shut this down, guys. I will come back at some point today. I'm glad we got into this early. Hit the thumbs up for me. It is very much appreciated. And I appreciate all of you guys being here. And we'll get into it again later. Okay. I know. I feel like I've seen you say that before, Max. I think there is another Dominique. Wasn't that lady's name prayer? Wasn't the prayer lady name? There is two Dominiques, but Alasia Alexander is the Dominique that they're typically referring to as the one who was aligned with the scheme team. Dominique, that scheme team Dominique is Alasia Alexander. Prayer lady who was in a call not too long ago with Nesto and Dre, where she talked her ass off more than Sonya. I think her name was Dominique as well. And that is not the same Dominique. That is not Alasia Alexander. Alasia Alexander, I think, is someone else. So yeah, the Dominique that they talked to, that she called prayer, his OG prayer lady, yeah, it's a different person. Hi, Pen Pal. Hey, everybody. You hope they move the trial back? Where? I hope they move the trial back to what? Girl, next year? Yeah, prayer lady and Alasia Alexander, two different Dominiques. So yes, to your point, there are two Dominiques. Okay, guys. No, move it. That they Okay, I don't think so. I think the trial period is over. When they were supposed to have him in the next trial period, I don't know. Joey says it's a placeholder. He would know more about that area than I do, but I am, sometimes the docket is what the docket is. You see something on the docket, that's what it is, right? They can't move it to girl. Jarvis is starting next month. Uh Stefan Starnes is starting in 2 weeks, y'all. Okay, we can't be y'all will be bleary eyed and exhausted trying to get to work with all this court getting ready to come up. We got to space it out. Okay, sis needed an intervention. If I get some legal mail today, I don't know if my legal mail. Let me check my y'all can drag out to a 3-hour live. Okay, hold on. Let me see. Let me check USPS and see if Cobb County has sent me some legal mail. Cobb. What's today? Wednesday? I think I paid my invoice. Did I pay my invoice Friday? Cobb. Oh, I guess I paid it Monday. Gosh, these days are just so much is happening in a day. Thank you to I will send a manicure emoji back. Thank you to the person who sent me a Cash App. I'm going to just say GOR. Um, let me see if USPS sent me an alert that I have something coming. USPS legal mail. Ooh, something from Pitney Bowes stamp machine. Whenever I see those Pitney Bows with a long number, I always know it's coming from Marietta, Georgia. Okay, Marietta. Okay, let's see. Something was clocked in on the 4th. Okay, it was just yesterday. It'll be expected delivery on the 7th. When is that? That's in 2 days. Legal mail en route. Okay. Legal mail flying legally. Okay. Can we see if Boney is confined? If that receipt is all that she turned in, is definitely not enough. If she were in contempt of court, I don't know if that would show. It's simple question, Sonia. Which hotel did you stay in? Ooh, ooh, ooh. Somebody commented on an old post and said, it's simple. It's a simple question, Sonia. Which hotel did you stay in? Ooh. Do we need to go back to this video? Hold on. I love when you guys hit old videos because it makes me share them as throwbacks. Um, hold on. Okay, I'm gonna share this as a throwback because one of you guys just commented. It's simple question, Sonia. Which hotel did you stay in? So was Sonia sitting up in a hotel waiting for Nesto while he was celebrating 4th of July with his wife? Were they up there at the Hilton Inn? Okay. Hold on. Okay. I'm going to share this as a throwback. Maybe she talks about a hotel visit or something. Maybe she talks about around the time that he got arrested. So we'll have to see. One of you guys was looking at it because I just got a new comment on this video. Okay, guys, I'm gonna let you guys go. I will be back. We're gonna be busy. Gonna be great Friday. Okay. Yeah, Friday night. I don't know. Mail usually comes around this time, so sometime in the afternoon, whenever it shows up. Okay, guys, love you guys, mean it. This was so much fun. I will be back with you guys later on. We'll find something else to talk about. Comment if you're on the replay. Make sure to subscribe to this channel. Make sure your notifications are set, and all of the things. All of you guys, thank you so much for always supporting this channel. This is so much fun. So much fun, so much fun. I enjoy doing this stuff with you guys. Words can't even express. So I will see you guys later. Bye, guys. Do you guys want an outro? Let's see. Outro.